Hello, everyone. You weren't expecting to see my ugly mug so soon, now were you? Nah, I'm kidding. But there's a reason why I'm here on camera instead of my regular recording nonsense that I usually do. This video that we'll be doing today covers a great deal of many things. And unlike my typical fashion where I will ramble on and veer off into nothingness, I will be trying to stick to a script. So you may see me look down or hear the click or scroll of my mouse wheel. But if you keep in mind with that, let's just get right into today's video. The first thing I want to talk about in this video is characters. Simply put, I've done everything I've written from last year until now. I never expected to do more than what I sought out to do, because a couple of the characters I did weren't even on that list of what I wanted to do. I did a lot of extras, especially this past week. But now I'm done. I'm caught up. Everything I've written, there's no more. And you're probably wondering now, what are you going to do now? Well, don't worry. Last week I filmed of a roadmap, plus a bunch of different characters that I'll be performing in the future, and I labeled it as for future content as Season 2. But with that in mind, that won't start for a while, because, well, there's a lot of things a lot of prep work that needs to be done. I need to write character scripts, I need to create the story fully so it's not, some half-assed garbage, and I need to let my brain wander and let the creativity come naturally rather than forced. And on top of that, I need a bit of a break. So I'm going to be taking a bit of a creative break, just, give my mind some rest, decompress, and just, let things come naturally. For those that did miss the video, we'll post it in the description below for you to see, so you won't miss out. Don't worry. And if you watch it, if you want to watch it, if you don't, that's okay. Sorry. The second thing I want to talk about, the journey itself. When I first started this channel, I initially intended on just doing what I am currently doing, which is characters, with an occasional update, pop-in, chit-chat here and there. But almost immediately, and I say quite literally the first video, so very much immediately, that went sideways. My first 30-ish videos were about teaching or informing people about voice acting, all the little tips and tricks and nuances that is part of a grand scheme of bigger things, the whole acting industry in general, that I know very little of. And given that point, who the hell am I to, give you guys lessons or teachings when I myself am just starting to learn myself? So, yeah, that was a little not good idea. I consider that a little bit of a mistake on my part. I may have misinformed a lot of you, or some of you, even though it was meant with good intention. I do apologize for that. And you're probably wondering, has it gotten worse? Yes and no, because after the lessons part, I started to do what I initially intended on doing for the channel, which was, characters, character creation, character ideas, stories, story writing experiences, reading exercises, and those little talks. So the mistake was I was doing too much all at once when I should have just been focusing on one part. The part where I don't regret or I don't feel like I made a mistake was I was doing what I was initially intending. However, as I just said, I bit off way more than I could chew. So that's where, it became a jumbled mess of crap that shouldn't belong. So I stopped recording for about a week, gutted and cutted a bunch of stuff, and brought it back to the most simple and basics, which is what I'm doing now. Characters. So some of you are now probably wondering, what the heck happened to the journey, huh? It's all messed up. Nothing seems to make sense. It's garbage. Well, yeah, you're right, it was. But you know what? That's the point to any journey you go on. There is no direct path. There is no set path. There is no free of worry or trouble, nor is there a guarantee of anything good or bad happening. You're only guaranteed two things when you begin a journey. Your starting point, when you get off your butt and decide, hey, I got something I want to do, let's get to it, and the end goal, the destination. For me, it's a full-time career in voice acting, if I can make that happen. Takes a while, but I knew that going in. Which leads me to my third and final point, I can confidently say that despite all my worries, all the issues I've encountered, all the grievances, all the times I got sick or my illnesses, which is a lot over, 6 to 8 months versus the last 3-4 years, and the amount of times I wanted to give up. I kid you not, there's so many times where I just wanted to just not record anymore. But I already invested time, effort, and money. Two things you can get back. One thing you can't ever get back: time. And what kept me going is despite all the hardships that I went through, I still found joy in meaning why I sought out to pursue voice acting. And that is because when I started watching anime 15 years ago, I was inspired by the works that many, many talented voice actors then and now have done. And it just makes me want to be part of it. But that was when I was 15. That was 14 years ago. So 14 years ago, I didn't know what I was doing. I was, 15 years old. I was like, wow, look. But now I do, thanks to the classes I took from Steve Blum and Zieja, which I will be putting in the description below if you guys are interested in taking voice acting classes of yourself. I highly recommend both. They're very good teachers, very talented voice actors, and they cover everything you need to know. But why, you're probably wondering, what is he rambling on about, despite the fact that I wouldn't do that? Kelsa Prees. That is, it's now been over 1 year since I started my voice acting journey. And I'm just looking back now and I'm thinking, holy crap. A lot has actually happened. And it didn't feel like it. Yet there's still so much more that can happen. There's plenty for me to do because I've barely scratched the surface. I've got so much more to learn and I got a lot of growing up to do. And as much as I'm going to hate it, I'm also looking forward to it because as much as I hated this past experience, like I said, I found joy and meaning into it. And I found it to be very educational and not only that, enjoyable for some weird reason. And it's just very fun to me and I just want to keep going. I don't want to stop here. I want to just keep going and going and going and see what could happen. Yes, the content for this channel has gone up and down and all around, and who the hell knows where it's going to go in the future. I've tried my best to, get it back on track. I hopefully, you guys understood that. And, but nothing really goes as planned, ever. Shit happens, and it's okay. You just got to make the most of it while you can. And what I've learned from what I just said, is that throughout this entire journey, like I just said, it's been very educational. What do I mean by that is, well, I've learned a lot. Like, audio engineering, it's actually a lot of fun. I thought I'd never want to. I thought I'd just go into my digital audio workstation or DAW, and I just record, all that volume's a little loud, or just compress that. No, it's a lot of little things here and that I've been learning, and it's a lot of fun, as well as video editing. For some of you that have watched my very few videos, my videos used to be up to 30 minutes long. Needlessly, pointlessly, boringly long. And my friends urge me, you don't have to do good editing. Just cut the gunk out and get to the point, and that's it. And God bless my friends for urging me to do so, because I find myself enjoying editing. Initially, there was 2 reasons why I didn't edit. One was because I didn't know how, and I wanted to spin that around saying, you know what, here am I, imperfect person trying to do a good job. Then you guys know that you're human too. You don't need me to virtue signal that. The other one is if the channel got big enough, I was gonna pay a professional editor, but then I was like, you know what? Why don't I just learn it myself? And you know what? Like I said, I ended up enjoying it. I also find the most critical point to this entire purpose of this journey, voice acting. I find that since I started I started recording in July, and then I started applying for jobs in September, I've noticed that my voice acting skills have gotten significantly better. There are times where I couldn't read. I would be so nervous. I'd be like, or I would get so frustrated after getting even one word, even saying one word wrong, or the cadence was wrong, or the inflection was not what was intended. I was just getting so wrapped up in something something minute. I was making a mountain out of a molehill, essentially. But through this last couple of months, especially the last 2 months, I've really, had to take a step back, slow it down, and there you go. Now, that's everything inside the booth. Outside the booth, in the real world, I find I've also grown there. How? I find I'm a little more confident, I find I'm a little more assertive, and I've grown ever so slightly. A little more patient, a little more understanding, and just more to just deal with things at a level-headed mindset. But I'm going to stop with all my 3 major points there, and I'm going to wrap this up by saying this. To whoever and ever watches this video, whether it's just one person, or it's 10, or 100, 1,000, or 1,000,000, it doesn't matter to me. I never cared about the viewership, I never cared about the subscribers, or the money, or the rep, or the fame that could come with all this. I don't care for that at all. I'm doing this because I want to make people laugh. I want to make people smile. I want to make people happy and feel good about themselves. That's my life goal, is to make people love themselves and be happy and smile and laugh and feel good. But career-wise, I do want to make this voice acting gig a full-time career. My life goal is what I just said. To that end, I want to end this by saying thank you for your 1 year of support. Well, filming, YouTube videos has been less than a year, but to all those who watched or learned or knew of me doing this before YouTube's, sorry, my throat's a little dry. Just grab water. But just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I really thank you for all the support, and I look forward to your continued support going forward. Here's looking forward to another year, or 2 or 3, or however long I want to stretch this out for. And I'll see you guys in Season 2. Take care, folks.